Okay, here I am again, Miss Mary, trying to do Casey at the bat. It seems like my tablet had a little glitch, so I'm going to start from the beginning, and we will hopefully be able to make it through all the way to the end. So, Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2, with but one inning more to play. And then when Cooney died at first, and Barrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go, in deep despair. The rest clung to that hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did also Jimmy Blake, and the former was a Lulu, while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude, grim melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted, and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy, safe at second, and Flynn a huggin' third. Then from 5,000 throats and more there rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell, it pounded up the mountain, and recoiled upon the flats. For Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile lit Casey's face. And when, responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat, no stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. And while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eyes. A sneer curled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in haughty grandeur there. Close by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. "That ain't my style," said Casey. "Strike one," the umpire said. From the benches black with people there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of the storm waves on a stern and distant shore. "Kill him! Kill the umpire!" shouted someone in the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With a smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult, he bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dun sphere flew. But Casey still ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two!" "Fraud!" crowed the maddened thousands, and echo answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold, they saw his muscles strain, and they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer has fled from Casey's lip, his teeth are clenched with hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go, and now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in this favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Like I said in the video that got cut off, That was Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. This edition is illustrated by Joe Morse. We do have a couple of other picture book versions of Casey at the Bat at the library, and you can find it in several poetry collections as well. You can also find it on Project Gutenberg, where you can find more of Ernest Lawrence Thayer's work if you are interested. But that is not the only interesting historical occurrence today. Today is, in the Navajo Nation, it is Navajo Code Talkers Day. If you are unaware, the Navajo Nation Council established August 14th as a tribal holiday recognizing and honoring the distinguished record of the Code Talkers during World War II. They were members of the Navajo Nation who were called upon by the U.S. military to encode transmissions during World War II. The Axis powers were unable to break the transmissions and the codes that were in Navajo, and so they provided an invaluable service during the war. So thank you to all of our Navajo Code Talkers and their descendants. We are truly grateful. We thank you for your service. And if you would like to investigate more about this day, remember that we do have Chase's calendar of events at the library, and we will hopefully see you with another one of these videos soon. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Good night. I can't make it stop.